Well, listen, it really, uh, I listened to Gavin Newsom speak about that, and I have several thoughts about what he had to say. First off, I don't care how he feels. I barely care how I feel.
That is Dr. Phil. You know, I've been keeping a look for Dr. Phil because I love his political appearances. I think they're so fascinating and so fun. Now, when I grew up, this dude was like Oprah's prodigy, and all of the people in my life that I respected at the time would call him Dr. Filthy. And then he kind of just started going MAGA, talking about political issues and just being truthful on the matters. And then all of the people that once called him Dr. Filthy now have a newfound respect for him. And I think that just goes to show that, he's changed a lot, and I really respect it. And so do so many other people. And it's because of rants like this.
About this. It's not a matter of opinion. We are a country of laws, and laws are not suggestions. They're not guidelines. They're not optional. They're not Monday, Wednesday, Friday, one week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, the next week. These are laws, and they were passed by Congress. And the people in Congress were elected by those people in Los Angeles. Uh, they have representatives in Congress that pass these laws. And once those laws are passed, are they not to be enforced universally across the board? They're not. They're not optional, and the people they're attacking um, had nothing to do with it. These ICE agents. Do you think anybody asked a single ICE agent, "What's your opinion of the law?" They're hurling rocks at the heads of these ICE agents,
Mm.
and so they're going after them. They had nothing to do with
But
this.
again,
They're
Phil, what I would say
enforcing
to
their
that, just to
job.
just to jump in.
Something that I think we need to address here is the fact that these people don't have to abide by the same rules as us. People on the left that are radical and they go to these events and they take advantage of these things, they don't have to pay the piper. They don't have to deal with the federal government knocking down their door. So Dr. Phil's saying, hey, these laws aren't just because we want you to follow them, they are mandatory. And I think that's a sentiment that a lot of people can get down with, honestly.
What I would say to that is, I've watched those scenes and they're utterly horrific. And the people doing that, they're trying to kill people, right? So I would absolutely charge them with attempted murder. You throw a rock at a passing car and smash the windows, you're trying to kill that person, in my estimation. I don't think anyone's got any problem with people doing that. If they're there illegally, then throw them out of the country. But what about the people who are not criminals, whose only crime, and it is a crime because if you enter the country illegally, you have entered the country illegally. You've broken the law. But do you think it's enough if that is your only crime, i.e. you're there illegally to start with, if you built a life, you have a family and so on, is that enough to be seized off the streets by ICE and deported, in your opinion?
Wow, what a great time to place an ad. Wow, Piers.
In my opinion, that's the law. And listen, Thomas Sowell was speaking, someone that I admire greatly was speaking about this just a few days ago. I listened to him talk about this, and he said it very well. He said, nobody questions the humanity of most of the people that have crossed the border, even illegally, that there are some good people there, some family people there. The Hispanic population is by and large, their culture is very family oriented. So no one is questioning the humanity of those people, um, even if they cross the border. But that doesn't make them immune from the law. If you are here illegally, Tom Homan has said it very clearly. There's an app that you can go to that says, look, self deport, take yourself out of the country if you're here illegally. They give, if you register there, they give you time to get your affairs in order here. They give you a plane ticket to fly you back to where you came from when you entered the country illegally. They even give you $1,000 when you get on the ground back where you came from to help you get your feet under you there. But if you stay here, and you are arrested, they have to find you, arrest you, process you, and send you out. You face bars. It can be 5 years, it can be 20 years, it can be forever to come back into this country if they have to find you, arrest you, process you, and deport you. So the whole reason of being so transparent about this process is to let people know if you're here illegally, you need to take measures to remove yourself so you can then file for a visa and come back in here legally. So I think if you're here illegally, you're here illegally. Now, if you don't like that,
We're really giving people who have broken our law, crossed into our country, $1,000. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is next level, honestly. I was not expecting, and I saw that Donald Trump had did that, you know? And I was just like, wow. We're going to give you $1,000. And still, these crazy Democrats are protesting and having riots in the streets.
that policy, I'm sorry, if you don't like that law, then change it. These people shouldn't be protesting on the highways in South LA. They should be going to the Capitol in DC and protesting to the legislature to change the immigration laws.
But there are estimates that the number of illegal immigrants in the United States, a country, of course, founded on immigration, that there could be as many as 30, 50, maybe 80 million people in the country illegally. No one's really quite sure, but it's tens of millions, whichever figure you want to buy into. Would you be happy, Phil, given that a lot of those people have settled in the United States for many years, had kids maybe in the United States, got a job, paid taxes, contributed to society, maybe doing a lot of menial work that is very important to keeping America running. Would you be happy if literally all of them were deported as a matter of principle?
I think we would be in a serious crisis if everyone left this country. And I think we need to address that. I think we need to address that in the legislature. I mean, clearly, this is a country of immigrants, some legal, some illegal. And if we have
Wrong. This is a country of immigrants. Yeah, because Great Britain, okay. But like ultimately, it's not a country of immigrants like from Haiti. It's not like, well, our country was from this tribe in South Africa and they came down here and they did all this great stuff and they were philosophers and they were, progressive intellectuals of their time. No, I think we need to kind of chill out with some of this immigration pandering and acting like the best and the brightest didn't come over and declare independence. Okay, relax. It wasn't freaking Mexican fleeing from the cartel. Okay, that's not what we're dealing with here. This wasn't a third world country. This wasn't a country that had fallen into poverty and that sucked and didn't industrialize. That's not what we're talking about.
dysfunctional immigration laws, then we need to call an immediate session of Congress, address this, and find a way to get visas for these people, work visas, whatever kind of visas, or get the immigration courts unstopped. They're stopped up right now. Get that blockage out of the way so you can actually process people. But the reason they're stopped up for 7, 8, 9 more years is because all the people that have filed for asylum when they didn't have a good case for asylum. And when they get there and it's denied in the vast majority of cases, then they're given an order to leave and they don't. So they overstay, but they clog the courts up. So people that have legitimate reasons don't ever get a chance to have their day in court. I don't think our immigration laws are functional, but those are the laws right now, Pierce. And what do? These laws aren't optional. They're not suggestions. How do you decide that you're going to enforce it for this person, but not that
Well, I
person?
think that's the big question, isn't it? I mean, I that's why I think, funny enough, if Donald Trump, through his team, including Tom Homan, I think it's a very impressive operator, actually. But if they had made it clear that the first raft of deportations were going to be exclusively restricted to people who were in the country illegally who had committed crimes, I think they would have had universal support from everybody. I think it's the fact that so many are being deported at such a rate that inevitably certain people are falling through the cracks here who have not committed any crimes, who may have built a life for themselves.
But did they come here illegally or legally? Did they come here legally or illegally, Piers? What are you talking about? Oh, well, they're not perpetual crime committers. They're not perpetually committing crimes. They just did it once to break into our country, but now they're good people. Yeah, I call bullshit. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. I can't. I need to watch. I need to spice it up with a debate from this, and that will be the next episode released shortly. I'll see you guys in the next one.